California in 1996. This was the first medical marijuana law that passed. This is California's medical marijuana law, and that has had repercussions. Other states now have passed medical marijuana laws. I think about half the states have, and 2 have decriminalized marijuana totally. Now, this is very important because over half of the drug war, half of the victims that are in jail are there for marijuana possession. So if the marijuana laws goes down, the drug war goes down too. So this is very significant. So at the state level, this can happen. Well, how about at other levels? Well, and in Georgia, Carol Ann Rand ran as a libertarian, and she defeated Republican incumbent Bob Barr. She knocked him right out of his own primary just by running advertisements. You know what these advertisements were? A medical marijuana patient, an old lady in bed saying, "Bob Barr wants to take away my medicine. Why do you want to do that to me, Bob?" He went down in flames. And if you don't think that rolled back big government and scared some of the drug warriors. Now there's another incident that you may not be aware of, but I am because I worked in it. Clinton care was largely defeated in '93 by the libertarians. How do I know this? I was active in that arena, and I would look in the newspaper and read the authors of the studies or the critics, and I knew 80% of them. They were in the libertarian movement. And we went on the radio and television, we wrote, and my co-author of Lethal Compassion, The Cure That Kills, which was about Clinton care, went on the radio and actually debated with one of the biggest proponents of Clinton care and basically showed the radio audience he hadn't even read the bill. It was quite a moment. So that went down, and even when Obamacare came back and tried to be passed, it was very interesting because a lot of the arguments that had been used against Clinton care, the libertarian arguments, were now being picked up, not just by libertarians, but by mainstream people who really did not want to see Obamacare passed. So libertarians never took the credit for that victory, but it was there. And that's what I guess the message I want to convey to you as far as the party itself goes, and really what you're doing in New Hampshire without the party, is rolling back big government. And it's wonderful because we can do it today. We do not need to get elected to do it. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not against getting elected. I think it would be great, but why wait? That's my point, why wait if you don't have to? So basically, I think that the LP can become a power player by winning races where we can, making sure that we do not soft sell the message, be the Ghostbusters, if you will, when Big Brother comes knocking, and define winning as rolling back big government, whether it's by elections or not. Now, the nice thing about this for the LP, and something to think about as the Free State Project interacts with the LP, is it keeps the LP active in between times, because the LP has kind of a cycle. You know, during election time it grows and then it falls after the election because there's nothing to do, and there's plenty to do, so we shouldn't be in that. Of course, we get a chance when we're working with other people to roll back big government to share our philosophy. If you're out there working in the trenches to roll back taxes, the other people who you're working with who might not be libertarian are going to be much more open to what you have to say. And also, I want to talk about this, the upcoming nullification movement. Now, I know most of you are familiar with jury nullification, but this is not what we're talking about here. I invite you to go to this website, f4fs.org, which is basically it's the Foundation for a Free Society. I'm the secretary. And this talks about nullification in terms of the state nullifying what the federal government is doing. This is a biggie. It's been kind of languishing all these years. This foundation made an award-winning film, a documentary about nullification, and it's really reopened the debate. There are many, many groups across the country that now want to nullify because the federal government has so many unfunded mandates that they expect the states to pay for. And part of Obamacare falls into that. So it's still being challenged, and I believe it will be challenged by the states. Also, the drug war is going to be challenged by the states. We've got 2 states now where they've decriminalized marijuana entirely. And you know and I know the federal government's not going to like that. They're going to try to come in there and arrest people. And there is going to be a confrontation between the states and the federal government coming up on these 2 issues at least. And the way I see liberty evolving as a possibility is for the states to take down the power of the federal government, and then the county governments to say, you know, that was a good idea. Let's devolve the power down a little more to our level. And then, of course, the natural progression is to the individual. So this could be a very, very important thing, and I hope that you'll check it out.